Gas prices in America are getting out of control. One week your tank costs $60, the next week it's over $100. And for millions of drivers, it feels like there's no escape. But what if I told you some electric cars are helping people save thousands of dollars every single year, just by avoiding gas stations completely? And no, this isn't just about expensive luxury Teslas anymore. Today, there are electric cars that are practical, affordable, fast, and surprisingly cheap to run. Some of them cost less per month than regular gas cars. And by the end of this video, you might seriously start questioning whether buying a gas car still makes sense in 2026. So today, we're looking at 5 electric cars that are absolutely destroying gas costs in America right now. And make sure you stay until the end, because the final EV on this list might be the smartest money-saving car on the market today. Also, if you enjoy future tech, electric vehicles, and smart money-saving transportation content, hit that subscribe button and join the channel because we upload videos like this every single day. Let's get started. Number 5 is the Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf has been around for years, but people still underestimate how powerful it is when it comes to saving money. While everyone is chasing flashy luxury EVs, the Leaf quietly became one of the cheapest electric cars to own in America. And honestly, that's exactly why many drivers love it. The average American spends thousands of dollars every year on fuel alone. Add oil changes, engine maintenance, transmission repairs, and rising gas prices, and suddenly owning a normal car starts becoming extremely expensive. But the Leaf removes most of those costs immediately. Charging a Nissan Leaf at home is dramatically cheaper than filling a gas tank. In many states, drivers can fully charge it overnight for a fraction of what gas drivers spend every week. That means your monthly driving expenses can drop massively. And here's the crazy part. Most Americans don't even drive very far daily. Studies show average commuting distances are often well within the Leaf's electric range. So for many people, this car covers daily driving without any real problems. No gas stations, no oil changes, no engine problems, no exhaust system repairs. That simplicity saves real money over time. Now yes, the Nissan Leaf isn't the fastest or most luxurious EV on earth, but that's not really the point. This car is built for people who want affordable transportation without burning money every week on fuel. And as gas prices continue rising, cars like the Leaf suddenly make much more sense than they did just a few years ago. But the next EV on this list looks far more futuristic, and it's becoming one of the biggest Tesla competitors in America. Number 4 is the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 honestly shocked the entire auto industry. When it first appeared, many people expected just another boring electric crossover. Instead, Hyundai created one of the most impressive EVs on the road today. This thing looks futuristic, it charges insanely fast, and most importantly, it can save drivers a ridiculous amount of money over time. The Ioniq 5 is especially interesting because it appeals to normal families, commuters, and even road trip drivers. Unlike older EVs that felt limited, this car feels modern, practical, and comfortable enough for everyday American life. One of the biggest reasons gas cars become expensive is long-term maintenance. Traditional engines have hundreds of moving parts constantly dealing with heat, friction, fluids, and wear. Over time, repairs become unavoidable. But electric vehicles are mechanically much simpler, and the Ioniq 5 takes advantage of that simplicity beautifully. Owners often talk about how quiet the car feels, how smooth the acceleration is, and how much money they save by avoiding gas stations. For many commuters, switching to an EV like this feels almost strange at first because they stop thinking about fuel completely. Imagine waking up every morning with a full tank because your car charged overnight at home. That completely changes the driving experience. And then there's the performance. A lot of people still think electric cars are slow or boring, but the Ioniq 5 delivers instant acceleration that surprises many first-time EV drivers. You press the pedal, and the power comes immediately. No engine noise, no delay, just smooth acceleration. And while gas prices keep punishing traditional SUV owners, the Ioniq 5 keeps looking smarter every year. But now we move to a car that became one of the biggest EV success stories in America. Number 3 is the Chevrolet Bolt EV. The Chevrolet Bolt EV proved something very important to the world. Electric cars do not need to cost a fortune. For years, many people believed EVs were only for wealthy buyers. But the Bolt changed that conversation completely by offering practical electric driving at a much more affordable price. And because of that, thousands of Americans started realizing they could actually switch away from gas without destroying their budget. One of the biggest advantages of the Bolt is efficiency. This thing squeezes incredible distance out of electricity, making it one of the cheapest cars to drive daily. For commuters especially, the savings can become huge over time. Think about this. If someone spends $400 monthly on gas, that's nearly $5,000 per year. And that's before maintenance. Now imagine dramatically reducing that expense. That's why EV adoption keeps growing despite all the online debates. Once people experience lower operating costs personally, many never want to return to gas cars again. The Bolt also fits perfectly into city driving. It's compact, easy to park, smooth in traffic, and extremely quiet. And unlike huge SUVs, it doesn't feel stressful to drive through crowded urban areas. Another interesting thing about EVs is regenerative braking. Instead of wasting energy when slowing down, electric cars recover some of it back into the battery. It sounds simple, but over time it helps improve efficiency even more. And honestly, once drivers get used to that smooth one-pedal driving feeling, many gas cars start feeling outdated. Now of course, EVs still have challenges. Charging infrastructure continues improving, and road trips require some planning depending on where you live. Compared to just a few years ago, America's EV network is growing rapidly. And for daily commuters, many of those concerns barely matter anymore. But if you think the Bolt is impressive, wait until you see the next EV. Because this car completely changed how the world views electric vehicles. Number 2 is the Tesla Model 3. Love Tesla or hate Tesla, there's one thing nobody can deny. The Tesla Model 3 changed the car industry forever. Before Tesla became mainstream, many people viewed electric cars as slow, weird, or impractical. But the Model 3 made EVs feel exciting, modern, and desirable. Suddenly, electric cars weren't just about saving fuel anymore. They became cool. And when people started calculating actual ownership costs, things became even more interesting. The Model 3 combines strong range, advanced technology, fast acceleration, and lower operating costs into one package. For many Americans, it became the first EV that genuinely felt like a real replacement for traditional gas cars. One of Tesla's biggest advantages is software. The car feels more like a smartphone on wheels than a traditional vehicle. Over-the-air updates constantly improve features, performance, and functionality without visiting a dealership. That experience feels incredibly futuristic to many drivers. And then there's charging. Tesla's supercharger network remains one of the strongest charging systems in the country. That network helped remove a lot of fears surrounding EV road trips. Now obviously, the Model 3 isn't cheap for everyone. But when buyers compare long-term fuel savings, maintenance savings, tax incentives, and resale value, the financial picture starts looking much better. And the performance is honestly ridiculous. Many sports cars costing far more still struggle to match the instant acceleration of a Tesla. The moment you press the accelerator, the car launches forward silently like a rocket. That instant electric torque completely changes the driving experience. But here's the bigger story. The success of the Model 3 forced almost every major car company to take electric vehicles seriously.